It is 6 p.m. in Beijing, it's 7 p.m. in Tokyo. I'm Monita Rajpal.
And I'm Zain, Verjee. You're watching CNN. This is World One, live from London.
Panasonic, the Japanese electronics company, has temporarily halted some of its production in China, part of the widening fallout from a territorial dispute between China and Japan. Beijing and Tokyo are arguing over a group of small islands in the East China Sea. Over the weekend, there were anti-Japanese demonstrations in Beijing and dozens of other Chinese cities, some of them violent. A report for the UN says Islamist militants are fighting alongside Syrian rebels against the Assad regime and could be radicalizing the opposition. The findings were released a short while ago by an independent panel of UN investigators. The head of the panel says some foreign jihadis are fighting by themselves, others are joining Syrian rebel groups. Let's first talk about this UN report that says Islamist militants are fighting alongside Syria's rebels. This certainly, if true, would certainly bring up, give Bashar al-Assad's regime fodder for his argument that his country is being fought, he's fighting his country against armed terrorists.
That's right. I mean, this is something that he said from the very beginning of the uprising, but as our own teams inside...
Pressure and desperation. Ivan, thank you very much for that. Ivan Watson there, live for us in Istanbul. And we'll be right back here on World One. Stay with us.
From royal court to public court, the row over topless pictures of Britain's Duchess of Cambridge is about to get legal.
We have full coverage for you on the story. CNN royal correspondent Max Foster looks at how the couple are coping with their official duties amid this furore. And we have Atika Schubert on the legal implications. Let's take you first now to the Solomon Islands, the capital of the Solomon Islands. That's where we find CNN's Max Foster. Max, how are they doing? It seems from the images that we're getting back from their South Pacific tour, they are coping pretty well. And our Atika Schubert is looking at the legal angle behind this story as well. So what kind of they're looking at a criminal investigation now in Paris. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, they're looking at two things, really. They're looking at the magazine Closer, the French magazine that initially published these photos. They're looking for damages, and they're looking to have an injunction to make sure these photos cannot be published again. Ireland, where now the Irish Daily Star has also published those photos.
All right, Max, I want to go back to you. And a lot of people are talking about what should and should not have happened. The photographer should not have taken the photographs, or some people are saying that perhaps the Duchess should not have been out there in that manner in the first place. Are there people talking about what kind of damage this does to the royal brand in this country? Royal correspondent Max Foster joining us there from the Solomon Islands, and Atika, thank you for that as well. Welcome back. Owners of a South African platinum mine are making a new bid to reach agreement with their striking workers as a labor dispute threatens to paralyze the country's mining industry. Talks between lawmen and the miners will resume today. Last week, the strikers rejected the London-based company's offer to raise miners' pay. There were clashes between police and strikers over the weekend. On live from London, the killings of U.S. troops by gunmen and Afghan police.
In days of deadly clashes across the Arab world, a new call has gone out for Muslims to take to the streets and protest over an anti-Islamic movie.
Well, it appears a group of Afghans heard Nasrallah's call and staged a protest on a road leading to the U.S. Embassy in Kabul. Some 300 protesters clashed with police in the latest fallout from the anti-Islam film that's been triggered. We return now to Syria. A short while ago, an independent panel of UN investigators confirmed that Islamist militants are fighting in Syria alongside armed opposition groups. But while fighting rages in the north of the country, residents of the Syrian capital are desperately trying to cling to any semblance of normal life. CNN's Nick Robertson reports now from Damascus. Group stages of the Champions League kicking off this week. Most of the big football teams in Europe had Sunday off, but not everyone was taking it easy. There was a key game for a team whose manager is in the spotlight right now, and Alex Thomas is here in the spotlight to tell us all about that.
I managed to tease it out enough, didn't I, without saying Andre Villas-Boas says he hopes Tottenham Hotspur can look forward to the rest of the season. And worth pointing out that Kim really wanted to have a go, but the boss said no. She's too important for something bad to happen to her, like a broken leg or worse, heaven forbid.
I love the fact that he said, you know, the difference between this and skydiving, with this you could take risks. I went skydiving, it's a huge risk, actually.
Yeah, you're still jumping out of a plane.
I think the scariest thing about it all is signing that waiver. You could die, and we're not going to be held responsible.
Is that what it says?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've not gone that far.
Yeah.
Sounds good in
granted,
theory.
mine was, you know, tandem skydiving, but
I'd love to know what the... I mean, we didn't have to... Well, maybe we'll revisit this. Maybe we'll go to Dubai, go to the World Championships. So I'd love to know what the rules are.
You should.
They were kind of skimming across the water between these bollards.
Have a little camera strapped to your helmet.
Not me.
Come on.
Interview someone, ask them about it.
Come on.
I don't want to ruin this.
It's called reporter involvement. Alex Thomas.
We'll get you doing it.
All right. Thanks.
You're watching World One live
It
from
is
London.
almost 11:49, actually just almost 10 minutes to 12 here in London. In exactly 1 week, 2 British teachers will pack their bags and leave the UK to begin the journey of a lifetime. Over the next 14 months, they plan to travel around the world to highlight the importance of education. Their adventure will take them across 50 countries and 60,000 kilometers. And if that doesn't sound tiring enough, they'll be doing the whole journey in just a tuk-tuk. My colleague Manisha Tank met 2 adventurers in London as they prepare to hit the road.
Hi, I'm Nick, and my name's Rich, and we're 2 teachers from the UK, and we're...
Monita Ramos, thanks. You're watching World One live from London. I'm Zain, Verjee.
I'm Monita Rajpal. Thank you for joining us. We'll update you the news headlines in just a couple of minutes right here on CNN.